Okay, automatic storage management fast mirror racing. Right? This is
Okay.
the new feature of 11G, right? One of the new feature of 11G. What exactly this fast mirror racing? Going on that, as you know, the main purpose of introducing ASM was to provide the better data redundancy to the database and discourage the RAID, actual RAID hard concept on hardware level. So what ASM exactly providing you on the way of redundancy? ASM is providing three types of redundancy. One is normal, second one is high, and third one is external. As you know, with the normal redundancy, you will keep one copy of data is maintained. For the with the high redundancy, two copies of data will maintain, right, on the disk, and external with no copy. So if we talk about Oracle 10G, whenever a disk goes off, okay, in Oracle 10G, whenever a disk goes off, means not what means the means goes offline, disk goes offline, that means that disk is not accessible to ASM, that disk is not accessible to automatic storage management for data reading and writing purpose. It means whenever it happens, if we talk about Oracle 10G or in Oracle 10G ASM, that ASM drops that disk group as per to maintain the redundancy and start making new copy of extent to other disk. And this is a means whenever disk goes off in Oracle 10G ASM, Oracle 10G ASM drops that disk, right? And what happens means in that case, the data on that particular disk has to be copied on another disk, and this task has been performed by the ASM, right? Means what may be the reason, means either there is a means for a little bit of time that disk goes off. In spite of that, it drops the disk group, right? It drops the disk from the disk group and make the existence copy of that data to another disk on same disk group or another disk group. So what will happen means this is a very expensive process for input output operation. Means whenever this happens, input output operation will, okay. So whenever this goes off, a very expensive input output operation will happen. Means suppose that this failure was a temporary issue, right? Means for the time being that disk goes off, right? And this was the temporary issue, and maybe got fixed in some few hours, and this will come back. So ASM will start again to copy the remaining disk data to that same disk. What happens when it goes off? The data of that disk copied to other disk, but whenever it's come back, then again the other disk data will copy on that particular disk. So ASM will
Okay.
start again the rebalancing of data from here to there, and this is very expensive input out, and this is become more ridiculous when the disk goes off for the seconds or for the means minutes of time. Means suppose it goes off for 15 minutes only. In spite of that, that data started to copy on the other disk. Again, after 15 minutes, that disk goes online. Then again, the rebalancing process is started. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Okay. So there are two balancing operations are going on. Me first when disk is going offline and when disk is going online, right? So
Right.
11G, starting with 11G, this this two time balancing is reducing by using two things. One is disk repair time parameter, right? And keeping track on changes of extent is happening. What it's mean? Whenever means I have to define a disk repair time, right? The default time is 3.6 hours. In between three means ASM will wait up to the 3.6 hours that to come online, right? ASM will wait to come online that particular disk, right? After 3.6 hours, that disk will be dropped from that particular disk group. And what will happen in between that 0 to 3.6 hour in the period that disk was not present? Suppose that disk goes offline for 1.5 hour, right? Then what about the data has been changes on other disk, right? So ASM in 11G keeps track on that data as well on the extent basis. Means during the offline time, whatever the changes has been made, that extent changes has been tracked. So every disk group has a default disk repair time, that is 3.6, for which it can tolerate disk unavailability. Means by default the Oracle ASM drops a disk after 3.6 hours. So this is called fast mirror resync,
Okay.
right? You can alter your group on two bases. One is if you are putting means this parameter disk repair time can be altered on two bases. On minute basis, means you want to put that repair time in minutes, or on hours basis. Default is 3.6 hours, right?
Okay.
So what is the means you can alter by using alter disk group data set attribute disk repair time is equal to 4.5 hours, right? Or
Okay.
2.70 m means minutes, right? This is clear.
Yes.
This is only applicable to normal and high redundancy disk group that you have to mind. This parameter is applicable to normal and high redundancy disk group, right?
Okay.
Any problem that makes a failure group temporarily unavailable are considered as transit failure that can be recovered by the Oracle ASM by using fast mirror resync feature, right?
Okay.
What I have said, that if any failure group temporarily unavailable will be considered as a transit failure that can be recovered by the Oracle ASM by using fast mirror resync feature, right?
Okay.
Suppose
Right.
transit failure can cause by means disk path malfunctioning, maybe disk path, whatever the disk path you have mentioned, that is not accessible for the timing due to cable failure or hot bus adapter failure or controller failure, yeah, disk power supply interruption, right? In this
Okay.
period disk will goes off. So disk will goes off, that means ASM will keep track on extent changes up to the time limit disk repair time, right? So you can also see that time in repair time column of $V ASM disk, right? Means whatever the time is lefting to be dropped that disk, that you can see in repair time column of $V ASM, right?
Right.
Okay. Now in the period means ASM is waiting up to the 3.6 hour or whatever the means whatever the disk repair time you have mentioned, disk is not come back, right? Then what will happen?
Mm-hmm.
ASM will drop that disk from the disk group and start the rebalancing operation, right? Using this
Right.
method means we can choose a time by with automatic storage with wait disk to come back and avoid this rebalancing operation done in previous version as was in Oracle 10G, right? Clear?
Right.
Means ASM will wait up to
Yes.
the time of disk repair time, and if disk will not come back, then it will drop disk only that moment. And in between, if
Okay.
this come back, Oracle side by side maintains the change, track the changes made in extents. When disk come back in that particular period of time, means in between disk repair time, then that changes will be applied to that disk only, means the changes will apply to disk only, right? As
Okay.
happened with blockchain tracking, means the similar types of concept, right?
Mm.
You can query you can you can query fund repair time for a disk group by using on this way. if i will if I will fire this command, the disk repair, there are 3 disk groups, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
disk repair
Yes.
time is mentioning here, right? The default time is 3.6. You can even change the time as well by using alter disk group data set attribute and disk repair time to something like this, as I have mentioned in this document. If I want to change the data disk group time, then I will. So first of all, this feature is available with 11.1.0.0 and higher, right? So you must have to set your attributes as well, right? I
Okay.
will I will practically demonstrate you, right? I have mentioned it in my document, right? This feature is available with means there are 2 types of attributes, compatible attribute. We will discuss this feature as well, this feature as well today, right? This is possible to set only when the compatible RDBMS and ASM attribute is greater than 11.2 point,
11.
right? Greater than or equal to
Yes.
11.2, right? I have mentioned this thing in my document, right? Now,
Yes.
first of all, we will discuss, thereafter we will see it practically, right? So you can see this is the means way to get the default value and the time for particular group number 1 and 2, right? You can mention the group name,
Yes.
then you can get the group name as well. Now, if any disk goes offline, means if any disk data you want to make it for offline, you can also write alter disk group data offline disk data 01 drop after 5 minutes. You can mention like this, right? So this disk will drop from the data disk group after 5 minutes, right?
Okay.
You can also make your disk offline alter disk group data offline disk and the disk name, right?
Okay.
Alter disk group data offline disk in fail group 2 FG2. In this example I have made 2 fail groups. One is FG1 and FG2, right?